Harvard's advice in this article didn't cure my premature ejaculation. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why and what actually helped me overcome premature ejaculation for life. Because the biggest problem wasn't just what Harvard recommended, it was the one thing they never even talked about. Let's start with the first technique, the stop-start method. With stop-start, you begin sexual intercourse and keep going until you are close to the point of orgasm. You stop all sexual stimulation until the feeling passes and then resume intercourse. Sounds simple enough, right? But when I first tried it, I was already close to ejaculating almost immediately after penetration. So after only a few strokes, I'd have to stop and hold my breath and think, please don't come, and basically pray that I could hold on. But trying to stop it with my mind only added more pressure and anxiety. Every time I got close to ejaculation, I panicked. And every time I panicked, I had to stop. But I wasn't practicing control. I was practicing fear. And let's be honest, having to stop intercourse every 10 seconds isn't exactly enjoyable for either person. Looking back, I realized something very important. The problem wasn't the stop-start method. The problem was where I was trying to use it. Stop-start is actually an incredible training tool, but not during sex. Trying to learn a brand new skill while you're anxious, worried about disappointing your partner, and terrified of ejaculating is one of the worst environments possible for learning. What finally worked for me was taking the pressure out of the equation. Instead of practicing during sex, I started using the stop-start method during solo practice. There was no pressure to perform, no fear of disappointing anyone, no embarrassment. And that allowed me to actually pay attention to what my body was doing. I learned how my arousal built over time. I learned exactly where my point of no return actually was, but more importantly, I learned how to stay calm instead of panicking as my arousal increased. Once I could consistently do that by myself, then I gradually integrated those same skills with a partner step by step. That completely changed the way the stop-start method worked for me. Now, Harvard's second recommendation is called the stop-squeeze method. When you approach orgasm, you pause and you or your partner use the thumb and 2 fingers to gently apply pressure just below the head of the penis for about 20 seconds. Then release the squeeze and resume sexual activity. I tried this too. Honestly, it wasn't for me. Having to pull out and physically clamp down on my penis to stop an ejaculation wasn't just uncomfortable. It was embarrassing. It made me feel like I had absolutely no control over my body. Maybe I would have lasted 30 seconds naturally, but because I squeezed my penis 5 different times, now I technically lasted 2 minutes. Is that really solving the problem? Or are you just finding ways to delay the inevitable? And that's when something finally clicked for me. Both of these techniques had the exact same problem. They were teaching me what to do once I was already losing control. Nobody was teaching me how to avoid getting to that point in the first place. That was the missing piece, and it was the reason I stayed stuck dealing with this for over 15 years, and helped me understand why so many other men are struggling with this as well. But before I explain exactly how to do it, let's quickly look at the rest of the recommendations. Harvard also talks about topical numbing agents and medications like SSRIs. I tried the numbing products and personally, I hated them. I couldn't feel anything and I'd always lose my erection because everything was so numb. SSRIs weren't an option for me because I wasn't willing to take an antidepressant every day for long periods of time, so I knew I had to find another solution. And that's when I realized I'd been asking the wrong question for 15 years. I kept asking, how do I stop myself from ejaculating? But that isn't the real question. The better question was, why does my body feel so out of control in the first place? And that's when everything finally clicked for me. I learned that ejaculation is a reflex controlled by your nervous system. And for my entire life, I had unknowingly trained my nervous system to associate sex with pressure. Pressure to last, pressure to perform, pressure to satisfy my partner. Every sexual experience became another test that I was terrified of failing. So instead of feeling excited, my body felt threatened. And when your body feels threatened, it's incredibly difficult to stay relaxed and in control during sex. No wonder why every technique I tried kept failing, because I wasn't solving the underlying issue. Now, the breakthrough to fix this wasn't a pill, numbing cream, or a trick. It was learning how to regulate my nervous system so I could feel safe during sexual arousal. This changed everything for me. I started trusting myself, trusting my body, and that self-doubt and inner critic was finally gone. And I just felt free to enjoy sex without a care in the world. And when you reach this point, you'll never have to worry about premature ejaculation ever again. I know because I lived it. I struggled with PE and performance anxiety for over 15 years. And I genuinely believed I'd be dealing with it for the rest of my life. But I was wrong. I wasn't broken. I wasn't hopeless. I'd just been given incomplete advice. Because once I learned the complete step-by-step process to fix it, it changed my sex life forever. And over the last 7 years, I've helped more than 450 men do the same. But learning how to do the stop-start method correctly was just one piece to the puzzle. Now, if you want to know what helped me go from not lasting 1 minute to being able to last over 20 minutes plus, watch this next video here. It dives much deeper into how to cure your premature ejaculation so you can completely transform your sex life.